Alrighty, good morning, evening, afternoon, and today we'll be taking the train to Japan's least visited and least popular prefecture, which is consistently ranked at the bottom for the number of visitors. In a future video, I'll also be traveling across its entirety by train, so if that sounds interesting, feel free to subscribe so you don't miss it. But for now, we start at Kurate Station, my local train station. There's nothing awfully interesting about the area unless you like grapes or PS4-shaped town hall, so let's talk about the route we'll be taking today. So usually, if you were to go to Shimane Prefecture from somewhere like Tokyo, you take the Shinkansen to Okayama and change to the Yakumo Limited Express train. This would usually take around 6 hours, and the lack of any Shinkansen or way to get there quickly is often one of the biggest reasons why it's so much less visited. However, I live in Kyushu, so the way we'll take will involve entering Shimane Prefecture from the other direction, which will involve 3 trains and take about 4 hours. So right now we're riding on the Fukuoka Yutaka line. This line actually kind of encapsulates a lot of formerly different lines and service patterns, and while normally from Kurate Station I need to change at Oryo Station, this train luckily takes us directly to our first stop, Kokura Station. Alright, so that's one train down, and the next train will be a bit more exotic than that, so don't worry, but we've got some time before that train departs, so I just want to show you a little something about the place that we're at, which is Kokura. So I've done a video on this city before, and I really quite like this city. I think it's quite underrated. It's actually the second biggest city in Kyushu, which a lot of people wouldn't expect, but it has one very cool thing which I can show you actually immediately. It's coming right up. It's its monorail, which for me it's very cool. Maybe you're more used to it than I am, but let's take a look at it. Alright, so you're taking a good look now. It's time to get our tickets to the next 2 trains actually at once. And they're a bit more special than the one we just took, which is actually very crowded. And as you can see, the station is also very crowded as well, because it's a weekend holiday, the Monday's off. So not just me, a lot of people are looking to get a nice long weekend holiday. But in any case, let's go get our tickets. So next up we'll be hopping on the Shinkansen from Kokura Station to Shin-Yamaguchi. We'll also be riding on the green car carriages, which are kind of the first class carriages of the Shinkansen, which are usually quite expensive, but thankfully our train's only about 19 minutes, so it was only about like 1,000 or 200 yen extra. Yes, this time it's the Shinkansen, but not just the Shinkansen, but something even better. We're in green car today, because what a man like me deserves, even though I'm in shorts right now. So yes, next we're on the green car Shinkansen, which is very nice, and we'll take full advantage of it, at least for about the 20 minutes we'll be on the Shinkansen before getting off right at the next station. Wow, that's cool, isn't it? Man, the Shinkansen never gets old. No matter how many times I ride it, it just gives you this amazing sense of adventure, and I'm all here for it. And it's over before it barely began. Although, I mean, the fact that we got here in 20 minutes is pretty insane given the distance. Alright, so we've arrived at Shin-Yamaguchi station, which I've actually been here once before to go to Hagi, which I made a video on. It's really nice, so I recommend you check that out. It's got a beautiful little Kyoto area and a nice little castle town with a castle that doesn't exist anymore. Well, that's another story. In terms of Shin-Yamaguchi station though itself, there's not really much around here. There's quite a lot in the prefecture too. I mean, you can see there's a lot of like pictures and stuff. But yeah, this is more kind of just a very convenient place where a lot of railroads have just kind of come into one. So I'm gonna wander around. We've got about like a 40-minute transfer to our next train, so we've got time. I might pop around and see if I find anything. If I do, I'll show it to you. Oh, that's one thing we might check out on this trip as well, so keep an eye open for that. And check it out, we did, but a lot more sooner than I thought. So apparently there's a fair for these kind of old steam trains just around the corner, which has started actually today. So we've got about 35 minutes until my train leaves. So let's see if we can check it out. Apparently it's a free entry as well, which is great. Whoa, look at that. I know I said we'd see a steam train, but I wasn't thinking so soon. Whoa, look at all the different models they have. Oh, that's bloody awesome. How do we get there though? That's the question. How do we get on over there? Well, we've got a train crossing closed up there, which means the train's coming from one direction or another. I'm not sure which. We will see very soon though. Well, there's a Shinkansen. that's not the train though. Where is it? Oh, there it is. Ooh, very cool. This is worth walking in the baking hot sun for. Even though it's October, it's still like 30 degrees. Absolutely insane, but that's fine. Ooh, look at all this. Ooh, we can take a look at the, I think it's called like the turntable, the round table, the turntable. It's basically where you have a little kind of revolving track in the middle where you kind of store all these trains. And look at all of them. I'm not sure if they're being used or not. They look like the same as the ones that just passed, so I assume they are. Well, except for that one over there. Oh, look at that. Whew. They do run this train. I pointed it to it earlier in the station. They do actually run this train. I think tomorrow we'll actually be able to get a peek of it, although from not from this station. Oh, look at all those though. That's very cool. Complimentary selfie video thing. Yeah. Well, I wonder if you can go into that one over there. Ooh. Very cool, but unfortunately we need to go back right away. So we've not got that much time until the train comes. So let's pop back.
どこ？
あ、すみません。この切符を使おうとしていますが。
スーパーウキ。Yes. 乗車券は
これもですか？
ああ、これは乗車券。
はい、そうですが。
OK。はい、いいですよ。
うん、大丈夫ですか？
大丈夫です。
はい。
ピュッピュッ。
あ、はい、ありがとうございます。Alright, and after that slight snafu, we're going to number 2. I think it's already here. Yes, da-da-da-da. Here we are on the Tokyu, the special express to Tottori, although we're not going that far. However, I do believe it is one of the longest kind of local rail express trains in all of Japan. And yeah, it's very cool. Let me get my ticket, see where I'm sitting, and we'll go. And my voice will break even more. Let's see if we can pop open the curtains and see what's going on outside. So as I mentioned, the next train we'll be taking is the Super-Oki, a limited express train that goes from Shin-Yamaguchi to Tottori, which covers about 380 kilometers in just over 5 hours. I couldn't get a definitive answer on this, but I do believe it is one of, if not the longest, local line limited express trains in Japan. I think the even more interesting part of it is that it's comprised of two cute little diesel carriages, one reserved and one non-reserved. We obviously won't be taking it all the way to Tottori though. We'll instead get off at the southernmost train station in Shimane Prefecture, Tsuwano Station.
Just arrived in Yamaguchi station, but the thing I'm wondering is why are the benches facing away from the platform? Just antisocial people, I don't know.
I think this is also a good time to talk a bit more about why Shimane Prefecture is the least visited prefecture in Japan and often ranked the least popular prefecture in Japan through polls and surveys. The biggest factor probably is how remote it is. As I said in the beginning of the video, by train it's not awfully easy to get to, and it also goes for the car as well. Shimane Prefecture also doesn't have any huge tourist attraction. It does have nice places to visit, such as Tsuwano, the end destination for this video, and Izumo Taisho, which is a very famous shrine, which I'll also visit in a future video. But there's nothing kind of huge that would really justify making the trek all the way there, unlike somewhere like Tottori, which has those sand dunes which are pretty famous. This part of Japan's northern flank, though, I get the kind of impression is suffering pretty heavily from depopulation and isolation, because there's no Shinkansen. It's pretty disconnected from that densely populated strip down south that the Shinkansen follows, and as a result you do have somewhat kind of hollow feeling areas missing what was once there, people. Probably most of all. In the next two videos though, I am planning on definitively showing off Shimane Prefecture and travelling all across it, and so if that does sound interesting, please subscribe, like or dislike depending on how you feel, and leave a comment, whatever you think of what I'm doing here and everything. It's always kind of interesting to read, obviously some feedback. If you think the video is awful, feel free to, I guess, write about it as well. In any case though, let's return to the video and our final destination. And we step out to Japan's least visited prefecture. Wow. Oh, and we also have the other one. I can't speak. We have the other Tokyu Special Express going the other way. Wow, look at that. Let's see if we can catch it. Which one's gonna leave first, I wonder? I think it's the left one. I think it's the one we took. Yeah. There it goes, the Super-Oki. That goes all the way to Tottori, although we've got enough. Again, Shimane, the least visited prefecture in all of Japan. Not that you'd know from this beautiful view. I mean, just look at this. This is just the start. And I mean, the view from just from the train as well is absolutely beautiful as well. Oh, I think that one's going to leave as well now. Ooh, wow. And there it goes. Whew. That is awesome. So the place we've come to is pretty much the first main kind of settlement from the south of Shimane Prefecture, called Tsuwano, which is known as one of the many little Kyotos kind of dotted around the country. I've visited two of them before. I visited one in Oita Prefecture at, what's it called, Takeda, which was really beautiful, and I also visited Hagi, which again I made a video of, and yeah, you should check that one out. But today we are in Tsuwano. Now, I'm not sure if I'm going to do a separate video on Tsuwano or not, because there's a lot that I want to see. But for now, let's kind of get through and out of the station and see what we've got around here. Let's see, what makes Shimane so unpopular. So usually you pop the tickets in here, but I want to keep them, so let's keep them. Very stylish station. Wow, look at all that. That's the information center, and here is the main square. Wow,
What a beautiful building. And if I recall correctly over here, yeah, you have another steam train. I think the same one as the one we saw today. It's supposed to be kind of the most manufactured but the most kind of famous Japanese made steam train for its kind of reliability, just how many they made. Wow, look at that.
So sorry I didn't record an elegant outro or anything like that while I was there, but that'll be where we end today's video. In the next video I'll be exploring this town, Tsuwano, which has some pretty cool things, and I'll also be making a video where I take the train across all of Shimane Prefecture, so look forward to that too. But for now, that'll be it from me. See ya!